Herobrine didn't start as a monster. He didn't start as a mod, or a video, or a jump scare hidden in the code. He started as a story that didn't sound confident enough to go viral. In the early days of Minecraft, someone posted a short message on a forum. It wasn't dramatic, it didn't claim proof, it didn't even sound sure of itself. It was just a description of something strange. A figure that looked like the player, but didn't behave like one. It stood at a distance, it never attacked, and it always disappeared when approached. The post didn't stay up for long, it was deleted, buried, or lost, depending on who you ask. But by the time it vanished, the idea had already taken root. That detail matters because Herobrine wasn't born as fear, he was born as uncertainty. To understand why that story spread the way it did, you have to understand what Minecraft felt like at the time. Early Minecraft was quiet in a way modern versions aren't. The fog was thick, the render distance was short. The world often felt unfinished, not intentionally mysterious, just incomplete. There was no lore to guide you, no clear explanation for why things existed the way they did. You spawned into a world that didn't acknowledge you. Bugs were common. Terrain generation was unpredictable. Lighting behaved strangely. And when something looked wrong, players didn't immediately assume it was just a glitch. They assumed they didn't understand the game yet. So when someone said they saw a figure in the fog, the idea didn't feel impossible. It felt plausible. The original description of Herobrine was simple. Too simple, almost. A player-shaped figure with blank white eyes, not hostile, not moving toward you, just watching before vanishing into the fog. No chase, no confrontation, just the lingering feeling that something had been there, and that was enough. As the story spread, players began reinterpreting their own experiences. Strange tunnels felt intentional. Naturally generated structures felt placed. Missing leaves, odd block formations, symmetrical caves, all things Minecraft does on its own, were suddenly seen as signs. Herobrine became a name people could attach to a feeling they already had. At some point, the myth gained another layer, a claim that Herobrine was the ghost of Notch's dead brother. This part was never true. Notch never had a brother who passed away. But the story stuck anyway, because it added something myths thrive on, emotional weight. It made Herobrine feel tied to the game itself. Personal, tragic, and even when the claim was disproven, it didn't matter. Herobrine didn't survive because the story was true. He survived because the story felt right. Then Mojang did something unexpected. Removed Herobrine began appearing in patch notes. It was meant as a joke, a nod to the community, a harmless wink, but repetition has a strange effect. When you acknowledge a myth often enough, even ironically, you blur the line between fiction and presence. For some players, it felt like confirmation. Not that Herobrine was real, but that he was known. And being known made him harder to dismiss. What makes Herobrine interesting isn't that he was never found in the code, it's that he never needed to be. Herobrine exists in the space between player and world, in the silence between music tracks, in the fog where details disappear, in the moment where you turn around because you thought something moved, and nothing is there. He represents the feeling that you are not alone in a place that never explicitly tells you that you are. As Minecraft evolved, that space began to shrink. Lore was added, dimensions were defined, bosses appeared. The world became louder, more structured, more intentional. There was less room for doubt. And slowly, Herobrine faded, not because he was disproven, but because the game no longer needed him. Still, the myth never fully disappeared, because anyone who has loaded into an old Minecraft world late at night, walked through a base they barely remember building, and felt a quiet unease they couldn't explain, has already understood Herobrine, not as a monster, but as a reflection of what happens when a game gives you just enough silence to let your imagination speak first. Herobrine was never hiding in the code. He was hiding in the uncertainty, and Minecraft at the time was full of it.